welcome to another episode of the Slide Through podcast. I'm your host, Miggy. If you're listening to us, I recommend y'all to subscribe. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, that notification bell button so you can get notified every time we upload. Also, follow us on Instagram at Slide Through Podcast. Let's get straight into it. Well, let me get the partnerships out the way so we can get into this podcast. Shout out to Definitely Eden. You could check them out on definitelyeden.com. Check out all the merch, hats, hoodies, candles, lighters, all the good stuff. Check out Monterey Bay Creations, MontereyBayCreations.com. Follow them on Instagram at Monterey Bay Creations. Also follow Definitely Eden on Instagram at Definitely Eden. Shout out to the Fish House located in Watsonville. Shout out to ConglomerateByTheSea.com. Check out the merchandise on there too. That's where you get our latest episodes. Shout out to Fit and Fresh Meals. I think we still got them, but shit, even if we don't, shout them out. Also, shout out to two gyms. Holla at the Candy King.
Hello.
Holla. You know what I mean? A lot of people want to get that shit done. Bling out your teeth, little cool designs and whatnot.
Get some candy ahead of Halloween.
Yeah, this has been around since fucking ages, I guess. People, they're doing that back in the day.
Yeah, I don't even recall. I mean, I thought it was just grills.
Like way before.
Oh,
like this was something like,
what are you talking about?
Talking
about like BC?
Yeah.
AC?
Yeah.
BC, AC?
Yeah, they're actually like drilling it into the tooth.
Damn.
Yeah.
I knew that tattoos also run deep, like Egyptian days.
For real.
Yeah. Well, heck, man, let's get started. How's everyone doing in this room? Yeah, microphones. Yeah, man.
Excellent.
Yes,
Thank you for having me.
We got Dwayne. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah,
Sure.
got some special guests.
My name's Dwayne, longtime resident in the area, part-time wannabe martial artist, but I do have my black belt, coral belt, in beer making.
Okay.
And so that's something that I like to hang my hat on.
Nice.
And so that's what I do.
Nice.
Who got?
Yeah, Michael. Not as high in the beer making skills, but been brewing for a while as well, making beer and getting into the Jiujitsu world and kind of trying to share all that with everybody and sucking more people in. So yeah.
You rocking the T-shirt, Jiu-Jitsu and beer. Is that was just kind of what you represent?
I mean, I feel like it's very fitting, Jiu-Jitsu and beer. The two things I say I'm pretty good at or things I enjoy. So got to represent.
Nice, man.
I need one of those.
I'll hook it up.
Yeah,
I'll see if I can find one.
So what all started for you guys? Like, what came first, the beer or the Jiu-Jitsu?
For me personally, it's been beer. I mean, I've been brewing for 15 years. I've owned my shop here in Seaside for the past 10 years. And then, but a martial artist for many years, on and off. And then that's how I know this guy here. I know him through the shop as a home brewer. And through conversation. I trained jiu-jitsu. At that time, I was training judo with my kids. And we were both trying to convince each other, hey, you should come train here. You should try this. You should come out, man. It's dope. You love it, blah, blah, blah.
Were you skeptical at first?
No, I wasn't skeptical per se, but I was already busy.
Oh, yeah, true.
I mean? So I'm trying to cut out time to do something else. And, of course, I've always was interested. But yeah, I was already busy. And so one day I made free time. Actually, I think you came out to judo first.
Yeah,
I think we were training judo together.
Yeah, I think I came out for, I don't know, maybe a year and a half or so. And it was cool. And, getting that going. And then finally I was like, hey, I tried your stand-up for a little bit. Let's go and do some jiu-jitsu on the ground type thing. So it was a back and forth of each of us kind of trying each other's, martial art out a little bit. Yeah.
Do you feel like doing both of those grounded you out a little bit more?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would say they're related, right? They're cousins, but one standing up and completely different, and then the other one's, what happens when you get somebody to the ground and what do you do next? So they're related, but yeah, coming into judo from jiu-jitsu was a whole different sport for me. I was like, man, I don't know any of this stuff, and Dwayne's over there throwing me and tripping all these, and so it was cool. It was good.
Yeah, straight at the gate and just tossing.
Yeah, first day it was like no mercy.
Go for the knees, bro. Go for the knees.
Go for the knees.
Go
Straight
for the
suplex.
knees.
Yeah, exactly. No, so I was hooked, and then Dwayne came and joined me over at Jiu-Jitsu quite a while back, and we've just kept it going and kind of expanding more and more. So it's been great.
You guys started the jiu-jitsu right there in Monterey, right? At the Zeus place?
Yes, exactly right. Yeah,
Okay.
out there on Del Monte.
Right. How was that? Going in there and trying all that out first?
Dude, I swear to God, I thought I had a little bit of skill, but it's just a different world.
Right.
Yeah, I was super humbled, but I wasn't discouraged, but it just made me realize how much I didn't know. And so that piqued my interest to come back. A lot of people get discouraged. No, this isn't my sport, or this isn't for me. I'm just going to go back to do what I normally like to do, maybe some Muay Thai. But once you realize what you don't know, and then the group of folks that you're training with, there's no, and we're all there to learn. And as long as you have that open mind, it is, once again, it's for everybody. Maybe not for everybody, but if you want to get better, you got to go. So yeah, for me personally, I was hooked. For sure, after the first one.
Yeah.
You just seen it as something to accomplish. Or like, man, I'm not good at this, but now I have to be good at this since I know I'm not good at this. Like, it's just, do you feel like you needed that, like the conquering to like?
At least to be proficient. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of course, I'm old, man. I don't have nothing to prove, right?
You don't look like it, Dwayne. You don't look like
Thank
it.
you, man. It's my Asian. It's my Asian. Man.
I mean, people are gonna think it's The Rock here. You know what I mean? They think it's Dwayne Johnson.
But I don't have to be. I don't got to be the best in the world, but I got to be proficient. You know what I mean? Just to know how to handle yourself, and that's the kind of the reason why I brought my kids into it too. And I always told them, I was like, you got to do one thing. Get good grades. And you got to come to martial arts with Dad. Mm-hmm. And so the environment in judo at that time was more geared towards adult, and so it was a little rigid, very traditional. American style jiu-jitsu is not very traditional. In some aspects, it is, but it was just more inviting for my kids on the jiu-jitsu side, right? It was more relaxed, more chill, and so they definitely gravitate towards it a little bit more than the judo side, only because our judo club didn't have a kids program. So I imagine if it did have a kids program, a little bit easier transition. But they're happy where they're at now. I'm happy. We all train together, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's dope.
Definitely.
And
That's
now
awesome,
your kids are a little older, so they're turning into some beasts.
Yeah,
they're coming in
right?
here and they're going with grown men, and I mean they're giving them a couple years, they're gonna be tearing people up. I mean they're killing it already.
Yeah.
So it's been great.
Damn. Yeah, it's kind of scary. Like, a little 14-year-old, 15-year-old maybe, like, out of nowhere just sweeps you and just like, whoa, we just.
Oh, you see it all the
in
time.
shock. Yeah.
Yeah, you see it all the time.
Totally. Yeah.
But what? Blue belt, right?
Yes, sir.
And
Purple belt.
purple belt. Okay. So how did you get all started into it? Purple belt. That took you a bit, right?
Yeah, so man, it started actually in high school. In high school, I think I went to a camp, and someone went to like one
Before that, you went
jiu-jitsu
high school
class.
out here? Or
No, grew up in Southern California,
Really?
Riverside, so the
Oh,
Inland
okay.
Empire,
hell yeah.
and went to a camp one year, and one person who had gone to maybe one or two classes was just like, oh, I'm going to show everybody some moves, and choked a couple people out, and it was like, that seems cool. And so I joined a gym, I think that next week, and went, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 months, and at the time, I was like, man, I got this. I'm going to be walking down the street. Like, no one's going to mess with me.
So I'm just dying for someone to mess with me.
Yeah, I was like, that guy, I hope that person doesn't look at me wrong. And, then I came up here, CSUMB, and at the time, had no money. So I stopped training for a couple years. And then as soon as I graduated and started making some money, I joined Zeus and was there up until COVID. And then, COVID kind of shut that down. So we took a little hiatus from our training for a little bit.
And are you guys back to it now? Like, is it back in full swing?
Not at the same place. So a little while ago, we got a couple people together and started doing our own little underground jiu-jitsu training and pulling up some of the old guard and people that we'd trained with in the past and pulling in some new people that are, you know, some warriors too. So it's been cool.
You know, go downstairs, you just basically like a garage. Like, you know, what is this? You go upstairs, like, oh shit, whole floor matted out. It's like, it's tight.
People gonna find a way.
Yeah. You walk in, you just see beers in the fridge. I'm like, what the hell? No label. I don't know
No
what that is,
labeled
but I know it's a beer.
It's funny.
Yeah, well, it's
That's
tight.
dope,
That's a
yeah.
good, yeah, and like you guys said, good environment, good people. You know, kids rolling too. It's just tight. Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you feel like? Did you feel like you made like friends instantly over there in the gym when you first joined?
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool place because I think everybody's kind of got the same mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, everybody's there to learn. Every so often you get people that are just trying to prove themselves or things like that. But I think it's a humbling activity, right? Because I think, you know, if you're new to baseball or you're new to soccer, like you might not be good, but you're not getting manhandled. So I think sometimes people come in and you know, they might want to try to prove themselves, and it's very humbling. So people come in pretty kind, and I mean everybody comes in cool for the most part, and it's easy to make you know, cool relationships there. It's a cool group of people.
Yeah, I think it's interesting for like different reasons. When like people go, kind of know like a lot of people are like have a fear of fighting. You know, they're scared of fighting, and so they probably want to go there to like conquer that fear, or like, you know, get away from that fear, like not have to worry about, you know, if it does ever happen, you know, because once you're in a fight, you're like, oh snap, panic mode, what do I do next? Everyone's like on, you know what I mean? So I feel like with that, you kind of like are able to control your emotions better and know when to use certain things for certain times, you know. Do you guys feel that, or that's right? Or
You know what? I'm everything you said sounds right, but I tell you what, the first, I mean, the first several months for me training in both arts, you get butterflies before you go to class.
every time?
Yeah, for the
Or
first few months.
first few months?
Yeah, first
Okay.
few months, because you just have these ideas of what it is, and then it's kind of like just this mental process of going and get manhandled. Who's going to strangle me today? How am I going to do?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this woman freaking murdered me last time. I hope she
She's
doesn't
there
pick
again.
me, bro.
She's there again.
Yeah.
She's looking at me.
Yeah,
She
right.
doesn't bully me.
Right? I got this nemesis. Oh, he's always trying to do this. And until you, once again, open your mind and be like, hey, everyone's here just trying to get better.
Yeah, no, to answer that question, when I first started, it was, you know, kind of that same idea, but you know, getting your ass handed to you was kind of it's a weird thing, because no one goes into it like, man, this feels great. But it's that weird thing of like, man, hopefully if I keep going, right, like that's going to be me someday, so that when some new people come in, I can, you know, I could be that same person that someone's like, someday I'll be able to be that guy.
Yeah.
So it's a weird thing, right? Getting your ass handed to you, but then being like, you know what? If I keep coming, eventually I'm gonna be, you know, I'm gonna be that one doing the same thing. So it's cool. Yeah.
Nice. 'Cause I know there's some people that like kind of like that part. Like, yeah, I'm like, you're in the moment. Like there's no more like fears already like went out the window. It only really lasts for like 5 seconds, or like not even 5 seconds. I feel like it just lasts a split second of like this intense little like panic mode, and then it just goes away because now you're just in the moment. Like did that like kind of
Yeah, no, for sure. Because I think, you know, as we were talking earlier, no one's really there to actually beat you up, right? I mean, yes, you're going through all this, but for the most part, everybody's there to kind of teach you and learn. So, you know, as Dwayne said earlier, right, for the first couple months, it is a little nerve-wracking going and being like, man, what's going to happen today? Is this person going to beat me up, or like, is that my bully? But, you know, everybody's there. So, you know, they might choke you out and then be like, hey, here's what I did. Right. So it's a cool learning experience. Everybody's there kind of to help you out to get to that next stage. So,
Nice.
yeah.
That's what's up, man. I know, pouring up some beers. I tasted right away.
All right.
I
Did you guys brew this one?
Yeah, so I'm actually, as well as doing some jiu-jitsu, working at a brewery down in the Barnyard in Carmel.
Really?
It's actually a new brewery. They're having a soft opening this Friday, actually, called Hidden Hills.
Okay.
So new brewery,
Just, you know,
just
throw
brewing
it
up
out,
some
yeah.
good beer. So yeah, we brought a cream ale today. So super
These two?
easy
good.
drinking beer
Or
and
is-
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna crack those.
Should have convinced them to call it Hidden Cloud Village.
Yeah, just
Hidden Cloud Village. Yeah, kind of like hidden up there. I think that was kind of the idea, right? Like hidden in the hills
Yeah.
out there a little bit. But yeah, so little cream ale.
Yeah,
just
I
a easy
love
drinking
cream
beer.
ales. I noticed. I was like, oh man, this kind of tastes like the
Hey,
cream I like to
salute,
get
guys.
at the bar. Yeah. Salute,
Yeah.
salute to you guys.
Hey.
Cheers,
Cool.
cheers, cheers. Salute.
Cheers.
Man, that's refreshing. That's refreshing. Yeah, what's the details on this one?
Yeah, so this was brewed down at Hidden Hills. So everything's brewed on premises. It's a tiny little brewery, about 2-barrel system. So not brewing too much at a time, but very small batches, so they can kind of turn out new things pretty regularly. And yeah, just a lot of passion in there, brewing up some good beers. And the brewer there, Jeff, he's been brewing for a little while. Brewed up at SoCal Fermentation for a while, brewing up a lot of wild and sour beers for a little while. And then he actually worked over with Dwayne for a little bit over at
Okay.
the brew shop. So it's kind of a small world
Yeah.
of the brewers and Jiu-Jitsu's. So
Kind of
it's
goes
cool.
hand in hand.
Yeah, a little bit. I
Yeah.
mean, if you're going to brew beer and do some
Guess-
Jiu-Jitsu, like we got connections.
Right, right. It's the cardio and then the reward, you know?
So what's
It's the
the
exercise
process
and the
in
reward,
brewing
yeah.
beer? Like, how does one get started? Like, what's the whole process in someone? Okay, I want to brew this type of beer. I want to make like, you know, what's your favorite beer to brew? Let me ask that.
Man, I think everything's my favorite beer for the most part. It's just cooking at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, for someone who walks in off the street, finds a shop through the internet or through conversation,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I want to make beer. Well, the first question I usually ask is, what kind of beer you like to drink, right? Cream ale you can make at home, right? Pretty straightforward. But if someone says, oh, I like to drink Bud Light, Modelo, Corona, Coors, I'm like, man, it's cheaper to buy that beer.
Right.
Yeah, it is. Because I explained to him, it's hard to make water, right? It's hard to make something so crisp and light. You know, it's almost an advanced brewing technique.
Mm.
But if you like to drink IPA, brown ale, ambers, sky's the limit. You know, come in. I'll show you how to cook, like Walter White, and we can make beer.
Gotta have the hazard suit on?
No hazard suit necessary, bro.
Yeah.
But
Some safety goggles.
yeah,
Safety
right.
goggles,
Yeah. No, but it's not hard. It's just cooking. At the end of the day, it's just cooking.
Hmm. Yeah. And how did you get started in, like, just brewing? What made you look like, oh, let me
You know what? Interesting
let me
story.
make my own beer? you
Yeah,
know?
right. You know,
Yeah.
not many Asian brewers out there. I can count, you know, on one hand all the Asian brewers in Monterey County.
Really?
But for me personally, it was, man, there's got to be a cheaper way to consume. So I thought it was going to be more economical. And no, let me take that back. So actually, the first person that introduced me to homebrewing was a guy that I was going to buy a kegerator from. It was a military guy who was moving and he didn't want to take the kegerator with him. He had just had twins or something like that. And so I tracked it down, went to his house to go check it out. He's like, hey, here's a kegerator, but it's all set up for home brewing. And I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. I was like, what do you mean home brewing? I was like, yeah, if you're going to make beer at home. I'm like, what? I was just blown away. I was from the idea and the concept of
Right.
home brewing.
So I'm gonna go to the store and buy this shit no more?
Well, not necessarily that per se, but I was just fascinated by the idea that he was just making beer at home. I was like, man, it was just nothing special. Hey, it's just cooking. You're just boiling stuff. And then I went home and hopped online and watched a couple YouTube videos. And you're looking at the people making beer. You're like, what? If you can make beer, I know I can make beer. Right? Just nothing special, I guess is what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
You don't need much. You just need a big pot, right? And of course, some extra tools that'll help facilitate, but you don't really need much to make beer. But then, you know, coming back to my what I originally said, I was like, oh shit, it's going to be cheaper to make, right? So essentially, you can make 2 cases of beer for roughly $30-40 for the most part, right? You know, pretty economical, pretty friendly in that regard. But you know, at the end of the day, we're comparing our homebrewed beer to commercial beer, which is it'll take practice to get to. So I learned along the way. I can only imagine what my first beers tasted like. But I thought they tasted good. But at the same time, they were definitely getting the job done. You know what I mean? Oh, 2, 3 of these. Oh, man, I feel just like if I had 3 Lagunitas, man. This is the best thing ever. It was just mind-blowing to me. It's fascinating. It was, yeah.
So how much money though you saved over the years on not buying beer?
Yeah, right? You know, not much. If anything. I collected so much shit I had to open a store. But it's just a process that I like to describe to people that we've gotten disconnected from because of the commercialization and laws that prohibited us from making alcohol. So pre-prohibition, it was common for people to make beer at home.
Right.
But then they outlawed that shit, right? Now, only certain people, certain companies, they're
So
the
in a
only
way,
ones who can
going
make
back
it.
to the roots.
Right. And so when people discover beer making or even wine or cider, it's like, you know, their minds are blown. They're like, what? That's all it takes to make that. And I always tell people, especially in our older age, you know, thank God you discovered it later in life. Because if you knew how to ferment shit in high school, parties every 2 weeks.
Right.
Parties
Shit.
every 2 weeks, like cracking parties.
Right.
Big old bowls of
Right.
juice
Big
punch.
old fruit punch
Oh my
bowls.
God, dude! You don't gotta ask anybody. You don't have to ask your cousin to buy that shit for us. I got it.
Right.
Right? It's pretty simple. But obviously, to make things that you want to drink, you know, it takes skill. It takes a little bit of practice. You know, that's the most important thing. As you get older, your standards you get a little bit higher. And I don't want to drink, you know, that kind of tastes good. I want to drink, you know, what tastes good.
Your taste buds like evolve after a while when you get older.
1,000%.
So some stuff that you liked as a kid wouldn't eat it at all today. You
Oh,
know?
forget about it. I can't tell you the last time I had an old E. But I would drink it. I would drink it, you know. But I used to think, I don't know if I forced myself to think it tastes good. But, yeah, for sure. You know, your taste buds change. You know, craft beer in the United States is such an evolving industry. It's what I thought tasted good 5, 6, 10 years ago.
Wow.
And what I think tastes good now is just, you know, unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Yeah, a lot of people like. I feel like me too. Like I've thought like, nah, I can never drink like a dark type beer. Like, nah, I gotta be super light, like Modelo light type stuff. Then after like some time go by, you know, a little darker, like a Guinness here and there. And I'm like, man, you know what? I actually do kind of like it, you know. And you just find yourself switching over to the side you thought you would never go on. You know, that happened to you guys?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially as it's getting a little colder out, a little darker earlier, like the beer gets darker. So it's stout season right now. So, you know, it's time to drink some of those heavier beers, a little higher ABV, and kind of settle down by the fire for a little bit, you know?
It's already setting the vibe, man. It's setting the vibe for this winter, man.
Those dark beers are my beers, like the Rasputins. And
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I got one here, bro. We're gonna crack it open
Sounds good.
before the show ends. We're gonna crack it open.
And how was your first cook when you first brewed something up? Do you remember the taste? Do you remember what you tried cooking?
I do. So, you know, of course, I don't think my first drink was legal. But at the time, you know, before I was 21, my brothers actually were huge beer nerds, and you know, every so often when they'd come home for holidays, they'd bring beers, and I was like, man, I knew Coors and Bud Light, but they would bring, you know, beers that the good stuff, right? And so, you know, had that with family, and then one Christmas, one of my brothers got my other brother a brew at home kit. And it blew my mind. I was like, "What do you mean? People can make their own beer at home?" And it was, you know, it was one of those like $20, you know, Mr. Beer kits.
So you've been introduced to the whole home brewing.
Yeah, I was into it for a little while. You know, my brothers did that, and then from there, I, you know, made a few batches with them and came up here. And I think I was at CSUMB, and I was 21 at the time. And came into Dwayne's shop and was like, "Hey, I know enough about beer to get the basics down, but can you help me walk through the steps and kind of finesse my way into making some good beers?" So from there, I think my first real beer was a saison, which is a little bit of a funkier beer, and I just remember it didn't go well. Middle of the night, I think I heard some loud explosions coming from the garage, and bottles were
hallucinating off the beer.
well, no, it was bottles were exploding, right, getting overcarbonated,
damn.
and so
Oh,
that first
shit.
batch was it wasn't great, but I didn't let that kind of put me down, and just kept going in and saying, hey, what do I do next? And since then, I've just slowly progressed in some of my knowledge, and I still like beer and I still like making it, so it's been great.
So they could get overcarbonated?
Yeah, so I think that first batch got infected. So if you get some
okay.
bacteria in there, they'll eat some of that residual sugar that's still left in the beer, and that carbonation kind of builds up until the glass can't take it anymore, and then
Damn.
And then
you
that's
just woke
it.
up to some pops.
woke up to pops and glass all over the garage.
You
And
thought someone's breaking in.
Yeah,
You
well,
got some bat
yeah.
rubber and shit.
exactly.
Like,
Coming
oh,
out. Who's out
yeah.
there? Who's out there?
Yeah, but that's what happens when you leave beer in the freezer, right? It's like it's pretty common. Like, hey, you leave it there too long, it's
No,
gonna pop.
Oh, yeah, in the
yeah,
freezer?
the freezer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of that same idea,
Yeah.
just a little bit more explosive.
Yeah, way more explosive. Nice. So you're the youngest of your brothers?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'm the youngest too. Of I got older brother, older sister. So how was that like for you? Like growing up with two older brothers. Like I mean, I got these guys. Kind of look up to. They're bringing back beers. I'm not there quite yet. Like can't wait. But I'm ready.
Yeah, so both of them are actually my stepbrothers. So introduced into my life a little bit later on. So we were already, at least they were kind of on the verge of adulthood. I think they were, high school by the time we had, our families had merged. And so it was cool. It was more of like, man, all of a sudden, it was my sister and I before, and then all of a sudden I got these two older brothers that are cool and, taking me out and doing cool stuff responsibly, you know.
Responsibly.
But
of course.
no, it was cool.
Looking out
you
for
know.
you.
Yeah, responsibly. But
looking
no,
out
it
for
was
you.
cool. Yeah, and if they're watching, I've surpassed my brother now in brewing. He's he
okay.
started and he did like 3 or 4 batches, and
Yeah, I was gonna say,
it was like no, he's
since he started brewing, how do they feel now that you're more into it, cooking, actually making more batches and doing something?
it's great because I bring beer to the family events now, right?
Hell
So
yeah.
we still bring beer just like we did back in the day, but now I can bring some beer I brewed and bring some commercial stuff as well.
Yeah,
so
that's
yeah, it's
it.
been cool.
Yeah.
How your
They
brothers
like your
feel?
beer better?
Do they like my beer better?
No, yeah. Do they like
Yeah, they don't brew anymore, so yeah, they should. They should.
They're like, nah, I can make better than this.
Yeah, no, they know. They know what's up.
That's right. That's right. Shoot. Who created the Zeus spot? Was it just always there for you guys, or do you guys know? Did you open up the Zeus spot?
The spot that we train at now?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, it's at the shop, right? So I have an empty space at the shop. Well, that kind of became available several months ago, and so how it started was either I find someone else to sublet it, I eat the cost, but then I approached Michael because we were training out of someone's garage at the time in Salinas. We're going out there a couple times a week. And then the space became available to me, and I'm like, "Hey, man, you know what? I got this space. What do you think?" He's all, "Shit, dude, that sounds like a great idea." I'm like, "All right, then. If that sounds like a good idea to you, we need to find some damn mats." And so I was on a mission to find mats at that point. Craigslist, freaking Facebook Marketplace, Offer Up.
It was a struggle to find.
You know what? I was getting ready to drive to Napa to pick up some wrestling mats. I had my nephew who had a truck and a trailer at that time. And the day, maybe like a few days out, to drive up, I was emailing this person like, "Bro, I need to know how big the mats are rolled up."
Yeah.
Because we need to rent this trailer. Never heard back. So I was like, "Ah, shit, this is falling through." And then just being vigilant, I ended up finding some mats from some guy up in Pleasanton. A guy who used to own a gym, a bigger gym. This guy had a freaking humongous gym. Actually, an MMA fighter, fought in Bellator and Strikeforce, I believe.
Okay.
Super cool. Awesome guy.
Retired or
Not even retired. He was just downsizing his gym from... So pre-COVID, he said his gym was 10,000 square feet.
Holy shit.
And so he downsized to 4,000 square feet. And so he had 6,000 square feet of extra mat space, right? Or of extra mats, not space, right? And so we ended up driving up there to pick up mats, meeting the guy, awesome, super helpful, and then coming back down and making the space work. So we've been doing that for the past, I don't know, 6 to 8 months. We've been training.
Yeah, just about. I mean, in the new spot. I mean, we were training kind of as COVID was coming down, basically in people's garages.
Yeah.
And then, in
Had
the
to
new
bring it back
spot.
to the garage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of starting at the very beginnings of the jiu-jitsu world, but yeah, since then it's been great, right? We got a lot of cool people in there, meeting, some of the old guard that used to come and that we trained with before COVID, and now meeting a lot of people that are, new to the game and wanting to get into it. So yeah, it's been cool.
It's been working.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been working.
That's dope. Yeah, I remember when I was in high school, like I knew like some people that would do that like in the garage, and like it never really occurred to me like, damn, like that's where some of these places like started from. Started from like a garage, and then a group of friends, and then they recruit some friends, and next thing you know, everyone pitches in, and it becomes a whole thing. And I think that's pretty dope. Is that how it kind of?
It is evolving.
Yeah,
No doubt about it. It's definitely evolved that way. And ironically enough, even from this beer world, the guy that he's working for now, he used to be my customer, right? He used to brew beer at home. Then he worked at breweries, and then he's like, "Ah, shit, man, I think I can make a run at it," right? So it's just interesting from that parallel that this is kind of evolving the same way. That we don't have too many options here in Monterey, or just in the area in general, right? I mean, you got to go to Salinas. We have 2 schools here that might not be financially viable for a handful for folks here in the area, and so we kind of offer that alternative by doing it 3 days a week, and semi-formal, informal. I mean, I think we have a very unique approach to how we train. We do a lot of active rolling, but I can't even say I'm super versed. I've only been to one other school. I haven't gone to a shitload of schools where I'm like, oh, this is the best way. And nor am I trying to claim it's the best way. I just know that my old ass only has so much time, to train, and I'm trying to get the most out of it, right?
Yeah.
In the form of exercise and learning a skill. And so for me, it's been conducive, for what's been available to me. And so with that, I think it's just for who we've been able to pull in, reaching out to old teammates like Esteban, new teammates here who can come in when they're available. It's been working out, man. It's been a lot of fun.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of Esteban, what's you guys' thoughts about him? How's he like on the mat?
Dude, he's a killer.
He's a beast, dude.
I mean, there's a reason we brought him into the fold. He's got a lot of skills, and he's been doing it for a while, and I don't want to embarrass him, but I mean, he just got his purple belt, about a month and a half ago. So I mean, he's tearing it up out there. So he's humble about it, though.
Man, they grow up so fast, huh?
I just remember it was just like yesterday.
It's like it was just yesterday.
Yeah. Speaking of Esteban, the funny thing is I remember rolling with him when I first started training at frickin' Zeus.
Yeah.
And we go, all right, slap hands. We start rolling. I'm like, oh, shit, this motherfucker's smashing me. I'm like, you got like 40, 50 pounds, but it don't matter.
Yeah,
He lets you know when you move the wrong way. And so you don't make that mistake again. But now that my kids have been training with him,
oh, man.
now that my kids have got a chance to know our friend Esteban, I'm like, hey, man, we've been all, once again, training 6 to 8 months. Like, hey, how I saw you rolling with Esteban. How'd it go? He's all, man, he don't take no mercy on me. I was like, you know what? He didn't take no mercy on Dad either. I'm glad he's treating you the same way. I said, the biggest difference from me training with him, when I first started to now is like, he just smashes me less because I know what to do. Right?
It's
He
more
still
technical.
smashes me, but it's just less.
Yeah.
Right? I already accept that I'm going in. I have lesser skill, whatever it might be, but it just happens less.
Yeah. It takes a longer time for him to get the combination lock.
Yes,
The
sir.
code,
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like the Street Fighter codes and shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he is
but-
Street Fighter for sure.
Yeah,
He is a
so
Street
but
Fighter.
it was it cracked me up though when I talk to my kids about who they train with. Hey, how did it go? And then he comes up, and then everyone treated equal. I think in Esteban's book.
Yeah, maybe teaching people lessons about life, huh? Like, but I want you to look at this like life.
I'm gonna smash all your kids too, bro.
Gonna teach them about life.
About life.
Do you think? Do you guys ever found like a metaphor through judo or jiu-jitsu, like when it comes to like life aspects, like, or just like anything like kind of like compare it to? Like you know how people like compare chess to life all the time, or people compare like I don't know, maybe they could find metaphors or similes through like football to life, or did you kind of like find some stuff like that?
Not me personally, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was just like kind of on the side, like
yeah, I never thought about it like that. Other than I'm here today to get my ass kicked.
yeah,
Right? But I guess I just haven't trained long enough. Maybe I'll get that little beam of wisdom come down at some point.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I never really gave it too much thought in that way.
Nice.
I would say perseverance, right? I mean,
Perseverance,
mental fortitude. You're coming in and doesn't feel good to get smashed, right? But people that keep coming, it's like, hey, gets better, right? Keep going with it. And a lot of people that even started with us a couple months ago already, they're tearing it up. So yeah, I would say that. I mean, I don't have any insightful, some quote
like,
or anything
yeah,
like
some
that.
like
but
some like Jim TikTok motivational thing.
yeah, no, nothing like that. That someone's gonna, quote me on a poster. But yeah, I would say perseverance, right? You keep coming, and you don't. I mean, for the first couple months, you just get smashed, right? Yeah. But you're slowly learning. You're like, oh, I'm gonna get smashed a little bit less, or oh, I'm gonna not do this stupid thing that I did last time, and then eventually, you keep coming, and you're like, oh man. That was cool, and now I'm smashing a little bit. Now I'm kind of crushing people when they come in. So it's I would just say that sticking with stuff. Yeah.
Nice. How does it feel to get? I don't know. Well, I don't know if you guys ever been put to sleep. If you guys have, how does that feel? Or like, how was the first time?
You know what? Personally, I'm okay with tapping. I ain't got that much ego. But I guess you guys had on here, maybe a couple weeks ago, Zach. Right,
Oh.
with the West, what was it, Weston?
Western
The
Collective.
Western Collective.
Yeah.
That guy's he's a fucking badass dude.
Okay.
Don't be
about
fooled by his
baseball
curly ass
terms.
hair and his camera. He's a killer. But he was one of my original training partners, and I remember rolling with him pre-COVID at the old gym, and this guy got a very sneaky what's called a baseball bat choke, and he caught me with it a couple times, and I'm like, oh shit. So you know what I do when I go home? Like fucking YouTube, fucking baseball bat defense. I'm like, oh shit, he's not gonna give me that shit no more. Like, all right.
I was just seeing like, oh, that's all I had to do.
Yeah, that's
Like-
all I had to do.
Yeah.
Like, all right, so here I am with my newfound wisdom, and then this dude puts me in baseball bat choke. I'm like, all right, so I do the defense, and then he pulls out of it like he's not going to do it anymore in transition. I'm like, so I relax, and then he goes right back in. I'm like, oh shit, and then I try to do my defense, and I'm trying
bit
not
too
to
late,
tap.
yeah.
I think I can get out of it. But as I describe it, it's like the fucking stadium lights going dim, and then your ears start ringing. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to go out. I had enough time to tap, but holy shit, it took me a couple minutes to get my marbles back. But that's about as close as I got
Okay.
to being blacked out. But it's interesting. It's a trippy experience.
Yeah.
No doubt
I
about it.
can't
100%.
imagine like just like whoa, like, like some anesthesia.
A little bit, yeah, exactly right.
How about for you?
Yeah, I'll second Dwayne on that one. I'm not one to. I mean, I'll fight it until it's I'm not going out. I'll tap before I go out for the most part, but every so often there's some sneaky chokes. Baseball bat is definitely a sneaky one where all of a sudden you feel like you're doing okay, and then the next you're like, you're
Everyone's crowding around you, like yeah.
well, not quite crowding around you because
Yeah.
knock on wood, I haven't been put to sleep necessarily because I'll tap beforehand. But some of them, they put it on for a second, and you tap and it's kind of like that for me. It's slow motion. Everything kind of, you're coming back and it's very slow motion, right? It's kind of muffled. Everything's a little bit, dim on the edges a little bit until the blood kind of gets back to your brain. But it's a trippy feeling for sure. My hope is to not get choked out because I don't know if I really want to test that one, but I'll tap beforehand.
Nice. How about you, Eric?
No, I mean obviously I've been close.
Close?
Lights going dim.
Right?
Yeah, but
That's it.
just go ahead and try firing it off, stuff like that. The only time it's been like that, it was a little rear naked, but I was able to get my back to the mat, fight off the hold, and get out of it. But yeah, just lights were dimming, went slow motion, but I don't know. It's weird when you got that adrenaline running too. Like he said, it's a weird feeling. Like you're dim and muffled, but at the same time, your adrenaline is running just because you were fighting it like just a second ago. Even for that, even if you fight out and get out, it's a weird feeling continuing rolling. Yeah, so you kind of like ease off, slow down a bit, get in a better position. I try to hold on. If I have them in a good position, hold on, rest a little bit, keep them there. And then once I'm a little back, I'll get back to it. But yeah, it's fun.
It's never been like, whoa, hold on, let me get my let me process this real quick, like whole snap, or it's
like
just
stop rolling.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Or like you just keep going like with it. You just kind of like gotta focus on your brain to be a brain, and then get back into the to what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, but most part, if I'm getting close to it, I'm tapping. I ain't got no problem with it. No.
No, man, that's a safest thing. That's the safe thing you could do.
That's
like,
what they say.
Right?
Yeah, we all got day jobs.
Yeah.
Like, we all got something to do the next
families
day.
got to go back to. Yeah. Be scary if someone didn't tap out. Like, yo, you didn't tap. Like,
there's some motherfuckers like that, bro.
That's true. Yeah, exactly.
Just yesterday, they put someone to sleep just because he didn't tap. He's like, we're there drilling. I hear some fucking loud ass snore. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? It's like, he got put to sleep. Some big 240 pounder just laid out. This motherfucker just don't want to tap.
Wow. Who wants to wake that up, huh?
Shit. He woke up refreshed, is what he said. So,
aside from judo and jiu-jitsu, do you guys do any other martial arts like wrestling or?
Not outside of the place that we're training at now, but that's not to say that we don't train wrestling. We have some coaches that are, that are super skilled in it, but training at a very beginner level, right? So, but not outside of where we're at now.
Cool.
Personally, me.
Yeah, no, not currently. I did a little bit of stand-up kickboxing, Muay Thai stuff before jiu-jitsu, but I don't really like getting punched in the face that much. It was fun for a little bit, but I don't know. I like my brain.
Like to keep your brain inside your skull.
To avoid CT.
Yeah, I enjoy remembering things and speaking coherently, so I'll try to keep all that brain matter, fully connected.
Yeah. How long did you do it for though?
Maybe about a year or so. So not crazy, but enough that I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then transitioned more into the, the judo and jiu-jitsu kind of grappling stuff. It's just something that you could keep doing every day and not worry about. What am I going to look like tomorrow when I get to work? Am I going to have, a broken nose, or am I going to have bruises all over my face?
Got to explain things to work and stuff.
Exactly.
Like, people are concerned for you and everything.
Hey, is everything good at home? Like, yeah, it's good.
What was the first combat sport that interests you guys seeing?
I mean, man, I grew up in the 80s, so,
Boxing was pretty heavy back then. Huh?
Yeah, but Bruce Lee was even better
Oh, yeah.
for the Asian folks, right?
And
then, the Chinese mafia had to fucking kill him. I don't know what the hell happened to Bruce Lee.
Oh, yeah. Well, what really happened to Bruce Lee?
Right? We don't know, but
I mean, we did know he was drinking that Hennessy in the movie, though.
Right?
Is that why he was kicking so much ass? Because he was off the Henny?
So as far as the first images that I remember that even sparked the interest of anything martial arts, it has to be Bruce Lee for me. Yeah, no doubt about it. But no, you're right. I remember my dad watching boxing back in the day. But for me personally, it was Bruce Lee, man.
Bruce Lee, that's
He's
what's
the
up.
man. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
the
that
man.
is the man.
Still is.
That is the man. That video of him nunchucks versus 2 ping pong
Oh
masters.
my god, dude! That-
Incredible. Like I don't think we'll ever see like a human being like that skilled. Like I don't know if anybody really compares to him still to this day. Like on that level of just skills.
Except for
Well,
Esteban.
the original,
Esteban.
the original,
Esteban Lee.
the original Ip Man was probably close.
Oh, no doubt about it. Yeah,
He was a
right.
beast. Yeah.
It was cool. It was cool. How about you?
I mean, I'm a '90s kid, so
Yeah.
Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, like all those action stuff, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I remember as a little kid, doing imaginary karate moves in the living room and stuff like that. But no, as I got a little older into high school, I had other friends that, I got these videos of this, Muay Thai going on. And I had no idea what that was, and watched some videos at home, and then started getting into the early UFC.
You like your
kinda
favorite
MMA
kind
stuff.
of? Yeah.
No, my big fan was Fedor. So I was a huge Fedor fan, giant Russian guy, very unassuming, right? Kind of not very muscly, very, I don't know, tubby's not the right word maybe, but
Yeah.
he was just tearing through people because he
just know how to fight.
he was he was a beast. And so that kind of got me into it too, and I was like, man, I want to be that guy. Maybe not the tubby part, but
Let's go eat Hot Pockets and Pop Tarts, bro. And I can be the baddest man on the
Hell
planet.
No diet. Little beer belly. You know what I'm
Gets a
saying?
beer.
he knew how to throw his weight
Shit.
around. So
Yeah.
I don't know. But no, that's my thing. Just slowly getting into it and little snippets here and there, some cool stuff that I was like, I want to do that.
Was he like your Bruce Lee?
Yeah, I mean, that was me in high school still,
Yeah.
though. So, I don't know. My Bruce Lee was the Ninja Turtles, dude,
Yeah.
at the time. Because, I was a little kid. I was on Saturday morning, and
Hell yeah.
they were cool, man.
Well, you know, Ernie Reyes was one of the original Ninja Turtles, who's also, I want to say, Nate Diaz is one of his striking coaches. If you're not familiar with, when you look at all, I mean, it's just, when you see a Nate Diaz,
Yeah.
all of his team, there's a freaking Asian dude in there. He's one of the original Ninja
Yeah,
Turtles.
we got a little frame of Nate
I
Diaz
saw that,
right
yeah,
there.
totally. No, he Ernie Reyes for sure. He's one of the original badasses out there, no doubt about it.
Nice, yeah. That really stems off of that photo. I really like that photo,
Oh, that's
Just shows him like me mugging, blood all over the face. Like I feel like that's like somewhat like an art piece right there. Like it says something right
1,000,000%. No,
Mhm.
put that put a stamp on on that whole industry right there.
Mm-hmm. Definitely did. Who's you guys' favorite out the Ninja Turtles?
Go Michelangelo. Come on.
Michelangelo, okay.
I want to say my parents named me after him, but probably not.
Well, you feel like you related to him?
Just through name.
Just the name. Just the name.
So his personality's not like yours at all.
Oh man, to be honest, probably not. No. He was. They're all amazing. All the turtles, man. They're more the stand-up. They don't ever show any grappling on Ninja Turtles. At least not to my recollection. I don't know. Maybe they need to do a redo of the Ninja Turtles with some judo and jujitsu stuff going on, right?
No.
Trying to wrap around the shell.
Put a Rocksteady to sleep or something.
Yeah, some turtle guard going on.
They're arm barring fucking people.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting because they all have different characters, different like moods and stuff, and I think it's like that's all meant like on purpose, like you got Raphael that's like hothead, and that's why he has like the little knives because he's so much of a hothead, and then Leonardo, who's the one like has the most composure, he's more calm, so that's why he's allowed to have the big violent sword, and then I forgot. They had like different meanings for each like character. I think which weapon did Michelangelo have?
I think he had the staff,
The
didn't he?
staff.
They had the
Yeah.
nunchucks.
Did he
Donatello
have-
had the staff.
Oh, there you go.
Dang,
See,
you guys are versed,
man, I'm
bro.
coming in here with my
That
with
shit,
my.
I'm like, damn. I was like, oh, don't ask me that shit, bro. I'm like, fuck, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I've
I
ever
think
looked
I
at
was
Ninja
smoking weed
Turtles.
in high school, and that shit was cracking off.
Yeah, I think the one with the staff was like he was like very very creative. Like he was that the one that was smart with technology.
Yeah.
He was so he could do like a lot
That
of
was
things.
Donnie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was able to do a lot of things. So his weapon given to him was just something simple. Since he's so So like, well, being creative. All right, here you go. Here's just a stick. Be creative with that, and that's why he's so
Stick, bro.
creative with the stick.
Creative
Yeah,
with the stick.
yeah. Be creative with a stick, and so.
I don't think I've ever looked at Ninja Turtles this like in depth before. Like, man, this is some real analyzation over here.
Yeah, man. Hey, TikTok will do it to
Hey,
you.
but to be fair, to be fair, BruJitsu
And YouTube.
is fucking badass. Like the staff, like martial art, you can like whoop people's ass with the staff like really bad.
Maybe that's the new thing we got to bring into the gym. Some staff fighting.
Oh my god.
Like Gandalf, be like,
No.
No. We're gonna leave that. Gonna leave that. Oh man, should we open up another beer or the same
Let's
beer?
do it, man.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, we do got some.
Let's crack open that stout.
A stout?
Oh yeah, we got the stout for the stout
speaking of
fans.
which, do you feel like there's anything that you guys still want to do with the jiu-jitsu or just with the place in general? Is there anything you want to get to, or like something you want to aim for, like a goal? Like maybe you want to teach kids to a certain extent. You want to grow a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. For right now, we are slowly kind of bringing in some of the kids' classes just a little bit. A lot of the people there have families, and so, on Saturdays we kind of cut the mats in half, and we got kids training on one side, and then adults kind of rolling and training on the other side. But I just think bringing in more people with experience. Right now, we're kind of doing it like a co-op, so we don't necessarily have a set instructor. It's kind of just, hey, who wants to teach this? Or if anybody has anything to kind of add on to the last instruction, or if anybody's noticing, hey, there's a little bit of gap in some of our training, can you fill this in? So I would say that, just bringing in more experience, people that are new to it too, because I think a lot of the times people that are new bring in things that we don't really notice. There's gaps of, hey, wait, how do you do this? And people that have been doing it for a while, we don't really think about it. It's like, oh yeah, I don't know
It gives
why.
you a different perspective. Yeah.
Exactly. So having new people in there, I think is really cool to kind of start over and teach some of those fundamentals. So yeah, it's been just bringing new people in.
Awesome.
So tell us about this stout right here. I already tasted it. Tastes like chocolate milk. Tastes delicious. Tastes like chocolate milk and coffee.
You
Love
know
it.
what? I didn't make this beer. It is a commercial beer.
Oh, okay.
But another
Oh,
local.
shit. I didn't spill it.
Oh, you good.
So it's the Ukrainian anti-imperial stout.
Ukrainian.
Yes, the Puck Futin. There you go.
The
From what?
Okay.
The Puck Futin.
Not the fuck
Fuck-
viewing?
fuck.
No, the
Futin?
Puck Futin.
Oh,
man.
Puck. Okay,
Puck Futin.
yeah.
But I'm
All
trying
right,
to find the brewery
I was about to say,
name.
I'm gonna be a little
I think
scared
it's
trying to
from,
order that.
Black Hammer.
Yeah, Black Hammer Brewing.
They're up in SF.
It was gifted to
Okay.
me as one of the better beers, so it is pretty damn tasty. So
Yeah, that is.
I'll give them that.
That's good.
Great job, Black Hammer.
Yeah. You also got a beer with your face on it.
I do have a beer with my face on. It's been going around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think it's called a Dwayne's
Are you
World
smiling
2.
in the picture, or you?
You know what? This is the funniest shit, is because the first time they made the beer, this was years ago, they were like, hey, man, send me a selfie. I'm like, all right, I'll just make some goofy faces. They made the can. Worked out well. But this time they said, hey, we need to take the picture. So they sent somebody out with a camera and all this other shit. And they
You
made
gotta
me
do the same face.
They made
or-
me do some fashion show shit to make sure I got the right angle, all goofy. But the funniest thing though is that it's people are like, man, at least they should have used your face. I'm like, did you look at the fucking can, bro? That is my dumbass face on the can. That's how good the Photoshop is. It's just seamless.
Okay, I think we got it here.
Right.
Oh shit! I've seen that shit. I've seen
I
that
know
can.
Yeah.
Yo,
So-
if
that's funny.
I was to see it and like
No, yeah, I would have
live,
missed it. I would probably just be looking just for your face. I didn't know it was
Yeah.
gonna be like cropped and stuff like that. That's really funny.
Yo, that's
Right?
that's dope.
They did a good job with
Hell
that.
yeah.
And the other side, Garth over there is the owner of Alvarado Street. Cool dude, man.
Yeah.
I've known that guy since he opened up here in town. But yeah, They
Nice.
did a really good job.
Hell
So
yeah.
people don't even know it's my stupid face on the can. They're like, man, they should
They
at
never
least
even
put your
noticed
face
that.
on the can. I'm like, fuck, look at it.
Look at it closely.
I've never even looked at Asian before, bro. I was like, fuck, look how
They
Asian
made you
I look.
extra
I was
Asian.
like, what?
Let's really make it,
Yeah,
so they know.
They ran that filter on me. That TikTok Asian filter.
They put the slider all the way up.
So
So how long has that one been out?
I want to say it came out, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, maybe.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, because I live close to a corner store that just has a bunch of local brews and
Right, yeah.
and I've seen that certain can because you remember that,
Right.
yeah, but I wouldn't put the face and the face together. I'm just well, that's a funny can, and then it's just okay, I'll get it someday. But hey, not for sure.
Now
I'm
you
gonna
gotta-
pass
hopefully it's
by.
still
I'll
there.
get it someday, but now I actually will.
Nah,
Yeah, you can
we
say
gotta
you know
get
a
the can in
celebrity.
the cabinet over here.
Yeah, we got to.
We gotta get it in the
I'm gonna
cabinet.
get the whole 4-pack. Save that one, hopefully. see how the first 3 go.
They're good. You're gonna have at least 3 empty ones for sure.
Did you give them the okay for this, or did you find out like everybody else?
No. They just push it out. It's awesome. No, it's
Yeah,
all
it's
good.
fine, it's
So
fine.
how did
Yeah.
you feel when this came out? And
I
they
knew it
showed
was
you
gonna
the-
be corny, but it's all in good nature.
Hell
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? We
Obviously
all
they're
get
not,
yeah.
they all get a good laugh, and they do a bunch of Instagram stuff to promote it. I get followers to the shop, but it's just good fun, no doubt about it. Yeah.
What your kids think?
What's that?
What the kids think?
Oh, Dad, you're retarded, bro. They're like, Dad, you're dumb. Show it to my mom. My mom's stupid. Look, I made it, guys. Look, I fucking made it.
I'm on a beer can.
I'm on a beer can, bro.
I'm
Look
not on
at this
TV, but I'm on a beer
shit.
can. That's good enough. That's good enough.
Yeah, that's tight.
Oh
Hey,
man.
everybody be on the lookout for
Speaking
that.
of which, are they old enough to know Wayne's World? Do they even understand?
They don't know nothing. No, man. They have no idea. I don't think
You
we
gotta share
watched
some
that.
culture with them. Come on.
We do, but I don't know if they can. Yeah, we haven't gone to the Wayne's World Series yet, but
There it is.
eventually they will, but not yet. Attention
there
span of 14 and 16-year-old.
I have a 14-year-old myself, and I know how it is.
Right?
They think they know everything.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, man!
Think
1000%.
TikTok taught them everything.
Oh man, it's just I just gotta stop talking. As my wife says, you gotta pick and choose your battles. I'm like, all right, you're right, because it's pointless to argue about why you want to scoop ice cream out with a fork. Am I gonna fucking ruin my relationship with my teenage son to tell him about we got a fucking ice cream scooper in the drawer over there? No, use that fork all you want. I don't care. Do it. I'm gonna bite my tongue.
Wait till we get to the mats, though.
Yeah. No, you know what? Funny thing when you said that is because the old coach, when I started to bring my son, I was like, "Hey, coach," I was like, "It's not child abuse when it's on the mats, right?" He's all, "You're right, but it's not elder abuse when it's on the mat." I'm like, "Oh shit! Why you gotta pull that reverse shit on me, bro? Why you gotta pull-" And now he's getting stronger and he's starting to know what to do. So it might be elder abuse if he keeps working out. So
Yeah.
eventually.
Just might be time to eat ice cream with a fork now, you know?
You do whatever you want.
You're gonna catch yourself eating ice cream with a fork. Like, you know what? He was right on along. You know what? You know what? I just didn't get it. I just didn't get it yet. It's like a movie ahead of his time. I just
Yes.
didn't get it yet, but now I do.
You're right.
I
Exactly.
can see where they're going. But shit, man. I think we probably got like a couple minutes left. 2 minutes left. Yeah, probably use those 2 minutes for you guys to promote wherever you guys want to promote. Put your the shop on there where they can follow you, where they can find you guys.
Or
Beer.
whoever wants to go train
Yeah.
is interested, give them
Yeah.
info for that, too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the training is definitely underground, invite only.
Hey.
But this might be the invite. You got to come to the shop. But
okay.
anybody out there that loves beer other than Corona, Modelo, and Budweiser, come visit. Bottoms Up Homebrew Supply in Seaside on Echo Avenue. We got everything there for you. I'll be your lifeline for all your beer emergencies. But if you want to buy shit on Amazon, you can save $2 and post your questions there.
Nice.
But I'll still love you if you want to come in
Yeah,
bullshit about beer.
get the experience.
Get
yeah.
the experience. Talk
Yeah.
to a real person who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then those that don't want to make your own beer and want to just go drink pre-made delicious beer, Hidden Hills down in the barnyard. It's a cool place, really intimate, but delicious beer and high turnover of beers. So every time you go in, you're gonna probably find something new, and yeah, it's a cool place.
You do the beer tasting there?
I do a little bit of everything there.
Nice.
So there's just 3 employees, a little intimate place, but
Security as well, bro.
yeah, security, jujitsu classes,
Heavily
like,
secured.
everything. So yeah,
Manager, owner.
no, not those, but yeah, it's a cool place, and yeah, so you can either make it with Dwayne or come and brew it, or come and drink it over at the barnyard.
Yeah, man, it sounds like a plan. It sounds like a plan. Shoot.
We're gonna have to do a podcast out at the shop making beer,
Hey,
Oh, that would be
that'd
awesome.
tight.
right?
Yeah.
And then we'll come back and do a tasting and talk about it.
That'd be tight.
Yep.
Hey, we gotta do that.
We'll have
do
to
a
have
whole
you guys
vlog.
over.
for sure.
Yeah.
We do a
That'd be
whole
awesome,
vlog
man.
like that.
We'll have to have a
Yeah.
slide through IPA,
Wow.
slide through whatever you guys want to dream of. Look at that.
do
Yes,
that,
dude,
do
we
that.
can do it, dude. It's possible.
You're like, man, let me call my lawyer real quick. Let me get my
It's
peoples.
possible.
Let me get my peoples with your peoples.
It's possible. Anything's possible.
Just need to call my manager.
Hell yeah, Dwayne, Michael, thank you guys for sliding
Yeah,
through.
thank you guys so
Thank
much
you
for
guys
stopping
for
Thank
the
you.
beer.
Thank you for having us over.
It's all, tasty beer. Very good. I don't really have stouts like this, but shit, this is fire.
This is
Right
fucking
on, man.
fire. This is fucking fire.
Glad you enjoyed.
Thank you guys, man. And for one more time for the people, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, subscribe, follow these guys, man. Follow the movement. Follow, you know what I mean? If that's what you're into, you know what I mean? Go train.
Go train.
You know what I mean? Hit the mats, man. You know what I mean? Let's get it. Slide through.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Peace.